Welcome to the Confidence and Clarity Boost session. This is where we're going to help you figure out where you're at on this life journey. And I'm going to help you make sure you get moving in the right direction with some clear action steps. I'll get to show you where you're at, and here's where you need to go to get to the next phase. I've developed a 3-phase process, and I've actually done some of these Confidence and Clarity Boost sessions, and I realized I need to put together, here's what these are and just kind of a how-to and what it is, what this is all about. So they've gone really well. I've done 5 or 6 of these so far. It's a limited kind of a beta test that I'm doing. You're welcome to go ahead and go on the website and sign up. And like I said, it's a limited time that I'm going to be offering. These are free 15, 20-minute sessions, and they've gone really well so far. So like I said, it's a 3-phase process, and we'll get to see where you're at on which phase you're in and what you need to do to get to the next phase. It takes one to know one. The reason that I'm so familiar and good at this is because I've been there. So phase 1 is to stop the backward slide. See if you relate to any of this. You can see where you're at on this journey and where you need the clarity or to get some confidence to move on. So the symptoms of phase 1, stopping that backward slide, is you're feeling burnt out. You know that feeling. You're just so burnt out. You just don't want to do anything. Maybe you're binging on Netflix or books, or I like to disappear in a book, and I can do that and don't want to get up. Binge eating, binging on anything, really, just whatever it is. So you're just burnt out. You're jealous, but you don't want to tell anybody that you're jealous because you see others doing what it is that you really wish that you were doing yourself. You're scared that life's passing you by. You've got FOMO, fear of missing out. Or maybe you feel like you don't fit in. You feel like you just don't belong right now. And that inner critic is going nonstop. We all know what that is. It's your head's going. I talk about it in a lot of the episodes, and I talk about it with a lot of people that I get the privilege to interview. Your head's going and telling you that you suck at whatever it is that you are, or that you're ugly and you don't measure up in however it is. So those are the symptoms of phase 1. And there's action steps that you can take to get out of it. So first, you have to notice your negative self-talk. You have to notice that you're telling yourself that you suck, or that you're ugly, or you're fat, or whatever it is, or you're never going to make it, or you can't do X, Y, and Z, whatever it is that fills you up with joy, or that you really wish you were doing. You can't do that. Everyone else is already doing it, or you would suck at it. You just have to notice that you're telling yourself that, because if you're doing it, especially if you're doing it all the time, you may not even be aware. So the first thing is to notice your negative self-talk. Next is to get clarity on your dream. What is it that you really wish you were doing? Episode 105 with Jenny O'Connor, she's a passionate multitasker. She likes to do a lot of things, but what is the one, and she talks about how to get clear on that, but what is the one thing you wish you were doing that brings you the most joy? When you think about doing it, it just lights you up and makes you happy when you think about doing that. So get clear on what is that? That's where you can really get clear, and you know that is what you wish you were doing. And if you're not sure what it is, there's 3 easy ways to figure it out. Number 1, journal. Just do some free writing, 5 minutes even, or right at the top of the page. I wish I was doing this, and then just write. Sit down for 5 minutes. Any of these things you could do for 5 minutes, by the way. It's not like, oh, I need to clear out a day. No. Who has a day, right? Or that could be on your wish list. Give yourself a day, but you don't need that for any of this. Right. Just write. I wish I could, and then just write and take 5 minutes. Or do the same thing, set a timer, sit down, close your eyes, say in your mind, I wish I could do this, and then concentrate on your breath, in and out, just the in breath and the out breath, and meditate for 5 minutes. That's it. And ask for clarity. It'll come. The answer will come. And make sure you're breathing. Breath work is the third thing. A lot of times when I'm talking, and you could see, if you listen to these upcoming episodes, you'll see the people aren't breathing when they're talking to me, and I'm going through this with them. And you'll probably relate to the people because it's all so relatable. And then when you figure out what it is that you wish you were doing, or the area that you really need to look at, go and see who else is doing what it is that you wish you were doing and just killing it. They are rocking it. They're hitting it right out of the ballpark, and see how they did it. It's all very easily accessible on YouTube, or just Google how they're doing it. Or you can write them, say, hey, how did you get to where you are? They may have written about it. People are very free to tell you how they got to where they got and how they did it. You don't have to invent the wheel. I mean, somebody is doing what it is that you wish you were doing. And then take a look at what are your limiting beliefs. If you're not sure what that is or anything, but it may just be you're afraid to do what it is that you wish you were doing, but take a look at your limiting beliefs. If you're not sure what that is, just send me a message. I'll send you a list of questions. They're very simple. I used to think limiting beliefs were just so esoteric. Like, what is that? What does that mean? And it's just old ideas. You may have some old ideas about yourself or things you were told when you were little, and that's holding you back or keeping you from doing what it is that you want to do. Or maybe you have some idea that you have to stay busy all the time, or you can't work just 3 days a week and make a ton of money, or you can't do what it is that you wish you could do. I always thought I was stupid and I was a dumb one in the family, things like that. Those are limiting beliefs. So that's phase one. And again, the symptoms are you feel burnt out, you're jealous because you see people doing what it is that you wish you were doing, and you feel like life's passing you by, and that inner critic's going nonstop. Maybe you feel like you don't fit in, you feel like you don't belong sometimes, and you have FOMO, fear of missing out. Those are symptoms, and the action steps that you can take to get to phase two is to first and foremost notice that negative self-talk. Second, get clarity, what it is that you want to do and wish you were doing. Journal, meditate, or breath work. Make sure you're breathing. Take a breath. Notice when you're holding your breath. It's really important to breathe. Breathe. See who else is just killing it in the area that you wish you were doing, what it is that fills you up and brings you joy. And take a look at what are your limiting beliefs in this area, in any of these areas, all the areas. See what your limiting beliefs are. It's really important to take a look at that. Okay, phase two, the middle phase. And this phase I call initiating positive momentum. You're going to stop that backward slide of phase one, and you're ready to initiate positive momentum. And that's phase two. And most people I talk to are in between phase one and phase two. Just want you to know that they're somewhere in between these two. So the symptoms of phase two are hopeful. You're building momentum. You're silencing that inner critic a little bit. You're noticing the negative self-talk. You feel a little bit awkward, but you realize I can have this. I can do this. It's attainable. It's more than just hope and seeing the light. You're like, I can do this. And you're moving forward. You're also feeling self-compassion instead of beating yourself up all the time. So you've got some self-love happening. It's good. And you're also taking intentional steps towards your goal, your dream, what it is you really want to do. And instead of these haphazard, just all over the place. And so you're taking passionate, purposeful steps in the direction that you really are aware that you want to go. And so you're doing it. You're actually doing it. And it's intentional and it's clear, and you're starting to feel good about yourself, and you realize you can have it. And now you're telling people, hey, this is what I'm doing, because you want to be accountable. It's really, I talk about this with a lot of people that I've started to do these clarity and confidence boost sessions with. An accountability partner is huge. I mean, my podcast started so fast because I had an accountability partner. Yay, Katie. Big shout out to Katie. Not that she's a podcaster or anything else, but every week we met and I was helping her with what she was doing and she was helping me with this. And so every week we'd have a list of what we'd have done for the next week. And I didn't know her before. So the people pleaser in me was like, I wanted to have everything done. And she had her stuff done too. And we would text each other during the week when we needed help. And she helped me with stuff that would just stress me out. And to her, they were no big deal. And I helped her with things that totally stressed her out that were no big deal for me. And so it was just a real win-win for both of us. So find an accountability partner. And in fact, I'm going to start doing monthly Zoom meetings because people are asking me, well, how do I find an accountability partner? And I know a couple of people found some really good friends in our Facebook group, which is amazing. And I know some of you don't want to do that. So it's fine. So I think I'll do monthly meetups in Zoom. We'll just all get together on Zoom. And so you can say what it is that you do, or just meet and find accountability partners there. I think that's a good way to do this. I'll try that out too. There's been people saying, yes, please do that. So I'll go ahead and do that. Make sure you're on the mailing list. That's just go to the website, and you can get on the mailing list if you just go to the website, and I'll let you know when those are going to be. And I'll do those once a month. And I can't say enough about accountability partners. Right now, Jenny is my accountability partner. I started a Tuesday night Hope Recharge. Every other Tuesday night, I go on Instagram Live, and it's been really fun. And there's 4 of us, and we all talk. It's live, and Jenny is my accountability partner for that. I help her with hers every other Wednesday, and I have to do it because I'm accountable to her, and she's accountable to me for her every other Wednesday. And it's great. So I have to do it because I have an accountability partner. So if I haven't stressed this enough, accountability partners are huge. So I will help you get one if you would like that. All right. So phase 2, how to get to the action steps that you can take for phase 2 is to write an action plan. How are you going to go forward? So having an action plan of, just your how-to, exactly how you're going to do it is very big, and it's apropos for this time of year, but it's always good to have an idea of how you're going to move forward. And again, with the accountability partner, you have somebody who holds you accountable that, yeah, I'm doing it. Affirmations. I talk about this a lot on the podcast, and I always ask people, what do you do to keep your vibrational energy high and to keep your self-esteem up and things like that? And affirmations are huge. To look in the mirror and say, I love you from into your eyeballs. I am a great person. I've got this. The universe has my back. I'm so grateful and thankful that large sums of money continuously and effortlessly flow to me. Whatever it is that you want to say. They're all great. Can't hurt. And yes, it feels like an SNL skit when you first start. Not going to lie. It definitely does. Another action step for this phase is clarity through meditation and self-compassion. Self-compassion, one thing you can do, just when you feel a strong feeling, they say if it's hysterical, it's historical, meaning if you have a really strong feeling, most likely it's got a historical base. It's from something in your childhood. So put your hand on your heart and just say, this belongs. Whatever's going on, instead of judging your feeling and saying, I suck, or what's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. You are perfect. You are great. You've got this. Just put your hand on your heart and say, this too belongs. It's that simple. It's a soothing mechanism, and it's self-compassion. Give yourself the same compassion that you would give your friend or your dog or whatever that is. And journal, having a daily routine of journaling or meditation. And meditation doesn't have to be for 45 minutes, 5 minutes. That's a very compassionate, self-compassionate routine to get into. Also, find others in your space who are killing it. Follow them, get in their lane. See what their daily routines are. See what it is that they do, and work on your limiting beliefs. Make sure that you know what they are, and say when they start coming up, oh, this is a limiting belief. It's not true. It's something that's keeping me small. Those are action steps you can take to progress forward through phase 2 so that you can get to phase 3, which is achieving a life that you deserve and staying there. You don't want to go back into phase 1, which is stopping the backward slide. I mean, life is ups and downs, but to stay in that phase 3 of achieving a life that you do deserve, because you do deserve it. It's not like, oh, some people deserve it and not you. No, you deserve the life of your dreams. And the symptoms of phase 3 is where you feel empowered, independent, and satisfied. You're grateful. You're grateful for the life that you've achieved. You're living confident and fulfilled. Your life's path is clear and focused. Your inner voice now is nurturing, kind, and compassionate. And so, yeah, that is where you want to live. You want to stay there. And the action steps to stay in this phase is a daily gratitude list, which I've been doing mine for over a decade. I think Nancy said we've been doing it for 14 years now. Is that right, Nancy? I don't know. Something like that. We've been exchanging them for that long. To meditate, again, even if you just set aside 5 to 10 minutes a day for a daily meditation practice, it's so rewarding. I can't speak enough about it. All you have to do is in breath and out breath. And maybe pay attention to when the in breath becomes an out breath. It's simple, that you can't do it wrong. The one thing about meditation is you can never do it wrong. That's the best thing I was ever told about meditation. And it's so true. Or journal and do all of those. Go outside and walk. Make sure that you're just moving your body a little bit. So to go outside and walk around the block, take a couple breaks a day, put a reminder on your phone to do that. I've been making a concerted effort to make sure I do that. And then helping others, pass on what it is that you've learned, how you got to phase 3, and help others to do the same. That will make you feel better than anything else that I tell you ever. 100% of the time, that will make you feel good. And I mean, 100% of the time, but the odds aren't any better than that. And again, the accountability buddy. I will help you with that if you have any trouble getting one on your own. If there's any way I can help you, I will definitely do that because it's just so great. But the other thing is when you start taking steps in the direction of your dreams, the universe rises up to meet you. I don't know how that works. It just does. So once you start taking all these action steps, tell the universe, I want an accountability buddy that's perfect for me. You'll get one. You just will. If it's in our Zoom meetups or wherever it is, you will get that accountability buddy. And it's an amazing thing that it just shows up as well as everything else. People always say, how do you get such great guests for your podcast? Well, once I started taking the steps in the direction of the podcast, they come. It's like, if you build it, they will come. Field of Dreams. I loved that movie. Basically, that's it. That's the Confidence and Clarity Boost sessions. If you have any questions, just ask me. And if you want to do a Confidence and Clarity Boost session, just let me know. We're going to figure out where you're at on this journey, and I'll help you make sure you get moving in the right direction with some clear action steps. Just go to the website and schedule your free session while they last. This is a temporary offering and they are filling up pretty fast. So just go to the website at 52weeksofhope.com to schedule yours now. I'm Lauren Abrams. Thanks for listening.